Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam and welcome back to the AFI project. Today we're going to be taking a look at The Wild Bunch. This was directed by Sam Peckinpah, the director of the original Straw Dogs and The Getaway, and it starred William Holden, Ernest Borgnine, Edmund O'Brien, and others. And it tells the story of a group of aging outlaws led by William Holden who are planning one last score before they retire. They're getting pretty long in the tooth, so it's one of those now or never scenarios. However, their former partner, played by Robert Ryan, is hot on their trails and is seeking revenge. This was yet another first-time watch for me. As a matter of fact, I really had no idea what to expect when going into this movie. After reading it on the list, I was just like, wait, The Wild... Have I even heard of this one before? And out of all of the movies that I've seen on the AFI list, this has got to be up there among the most shocking. And I mean that in the nicest possible fashion, because I thought this movie was very well made and very well done. But wow. This is one of those movies where I don't smoke, but I felt like I needed to take a cigarette break after watching it. Firstly, let's talk about William Holden. He's normally an actor who plays kinda smarmy characters like Joe Gillis in Sunset Boulevard, though likable in a sense. But here, he's almost unrecognizable. He's not exactly cold-blooded, but he does fall on the cold-blooded spectrum, let's just say that. I'll talk more about the themes of this movie in a little bit, but basically, the movie is trying to tell a story of this wild bunch being pretty much outsiders, but not in the traditional Wild West sense. They're outsiders roaring at the face of a changing world, and William Holden is the hood ornament, if you will. Holden's assistant is Ernest Borgnine, and I've always known Borgnine for playing not necessarily jovial roles, but more lighter roles. He's pretty much unrecognizable in this movie. If there's any viciousness missing from William Holden's character, it's more than made up for with Ernest Borgnine. But in my research, I found that this movie is primarily known for its editing techniques, in that even though this movie was made in 1969, it resembles a lot more of today's modern action movies, with a multiple camera setup and just a lot of just quick takes. Like, in my research, I found that the final length of cut for this movie, in terms of, like, actual film, was 333,000 feet. That sounds like a lot. Like, a lot. So much so that the opening gunfight takes up nearly the first half an hour of the movie. And that's a conservative estimate. I should say, though, in warning, that there is definitely a lot of quick cuts and quick takes, so if you're not a fan of that, then this will definitely turn you off. I'm fairly ambivalent to it if it's used in the right fashion, and I think it's used more than well here, because it makes the intensity go up as the Wild Bunch are facing off with these bounty hunters who are trying to kill them. The geography is set up well enough between the Wild Bunch, the bounty hunters, and this temperance unit band to where you know where everyone is, and if you don't know where someone is immediately, everything will eventually come to its right place. Few directors do it nowadays, and I think Sam Peckinpah did a really good job with it. But those themes, like I mentioned, are basically about the Wild Bunch being the last of a dying breed. I brought this up in my Shane review, but when I was watching The Wild Bunch, I felt more than a few comparisons to Red Dead Redemption 2. And no, I'm not trying to meet like a quota or something to try and bring up Red Dead Redemption 2 in every Western that I cover, but sometimes you gotta call a spade a spade. In Red Dead 2, Arthur Morgan and the gang that he's a part of are outlaws in a time where outlaws are pretty much becoming a novelty. As the game goes on, you go from more wide open spaces to full-flung cities like Saint Denis. This movie takes place in 1913 and in Texas. That's a year after the Titanic disaster and 1 year before World War I happens. That's the state of things. And similar to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the Wild Bunch, their fate is not necessarily dealt by any one enemy, but by fate itself. I'm sure that makes sense to somebody. The point I'm trying to get at is that this movie is not just about a white hat and a black hat just shooting at each other for 2 hours. There is much more to it than that, and I think in that respect this movie has aged tremendously well. But that is all for me, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Next time on the AFI Project, we're going to be taking yet another hard right and going from staying in the same time period, but from hard-edged westerns to, well, kind of lighthearted comedies, specifically from the legend himself, Billy Wilder. It's the best picture of 1960, The Apartment. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way, when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.